YouTube, welcome back to another episode of K-Dub Palace. I'm your host, K-Dub. I'm not gonna lie, I'm freshly off the workout right now. You know what I mean? I'm fresh off the workout. I'm gonna just drop this little 10-minute, quick little vid. I'm gonna spend like 2 minutes on each topic. Then we gonna keep it going. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Um, I'm gonna get into the Laker game first. We're gonna get into the Laker game. The Sixers didn't have Joel Embiid, Paul George, Jared McCain. I don't think Eric Gordon played. Andre Drummond didn't play. 5 players didn't play. And they lost by 14 points. Tyrese Maxey dropped 43 on the whole team. AD had 4 points, 2 rebounds. He left with a abdominal strain. He'll be reevaluated in 1 week. The Lakers didn't play good. Bronny got on the court, played 15 minutes. He went 0 for 5. Clearly Bronny's not ready for the NBA right now. He's cooking in the G League. He's cooking in G League, but in the actual NBA, he's not playing. He's not playing. He's not playing. How some people thought that they would play. So it's very unfortunate for the Lakers. The Sixers, they've been a disappointment all year. They've been a disappointment all year. The Lakers have played better than what people hoped or thought they would. So I'm not going to knock on the Lakers too much. They've hung in there for most of the part, but the Lakers got to be better. I think Bronny. I think Bronny should have stayed at USC for a second year, just to kind of get his name back a little bit as far as like on the court. Either that or he didn't go back to college and went the G League route, and then he would have got drafted probably like this year for the 2025 draft. That could have been an option too. But how Bronny's been playing in the G League, he could have been playing like this at USC, or he could have been playing like this at USC. But I would have thought that he would go the G League route. That he would go the G League route and do what he's doing now and then get drafted. He would have been like a lottery pick this year if he didn't get drafted. And I think he's averaging like 18 points in the G League right now. He's cooking. If he would have not gotten drafted this past year and went to the G League and done what he's doing now, he would have been a lottery pick this year. If you look at like Mikey Williams right now, he's not getting a lot of playing time with UCF. I think he stays another year and see what happens, because right now UCF is playing good. And to kind of just throw Mikey Williams in there just because of his name might mess up the chemistry, and they may not win as much. So like next year, Mikey Williams might have that chance, and Bronny could have had that same chance at USC. But obviously, he went what's best for he did what's best for him and his family. So can't knock that. But this parent-son thing, I think it has to stop. Yeah, it's a great thing. We've never really seen it before, or we haven't seen it in a while, but it's not really going as planned. Clearly this was kind of like, this just to bring more attention to like the Lakers, really. It was just like to get more views like in the NBA, but it's worked out for Bron, but not for Bronny. So they might have got to rethink this thing, and maybe Bronny just spends the rest of the season in the G League just like cooking, and then go to Summer League this summer, cook in Summer League, and then Next year he might have something going, but this year it's just not working out. So, and then to get blown out by the city, well, not blown out, but to get cooked by Tyrese Maxey like that, it's tough. But we'll see what happens going forward. As you guys know, De'Aaron Fox, um, the Sacramento Kings are going to trade De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is going to be traded. Um, According to Rich Paul, his agent, LeBron's agent as well, Rich Paul said that his preferred destination would be the Spurs. I think I told y'all yesterday that would be a good duo with him and Wemby. They wouldn't win too many games, but they'll be like a play-in team fighting for the playoff spot. They'll be like the AFC, something like that. Overall, I don't think the team is ready yet. I mean, they got some pieces. They got Vassell. Vassell starting to kind of know his role. He's more of like a catch and shoot player. They got veterans, Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul. I think they keep Chris Paul for veteran just to kind of like back up D Fox. And I think they might trade like a Trey Jones. They might trade like Trey Jones, Zach Collins, and they may either give up Castle in that trade. Who knows? But Spurs is not a bad one. Me personally, I said D Fox to Orlando. I think Orlando would be a good spot for him to team up with Paolo and Franz. That would be like a good little trio with KCP as a shooter, and then you got. I think they need a big man like Wendell Carter. He's cool. Mo Wagner is. I think Mo Wagner is out for the season, ain't he? I think he tore his ACL, so I don't think he's coming back. So you go get like an extra big, and then I think you're set. But yeah, this trade is going to be very interesting to see where D Fox goes. The trade deadline is next Thursday, so we'll see what happens. With that. With D Fox being the franchise guy in Sacramento, they built the team to help D Fox. With DeRozan, they paid Sabonis and linked him up, and to see it kind of crumble, it's unfortunate. But we kind of seen De'Aaron Fox. We kind of seen he didn't sign a contract this summer, so that was probably one kind of like flag that everybody should notice him not signing an extension, because he could have been worth over $200 million. Yeah. I mean, we'll see where he ends up. I think De'Aaron Fox ends up. I mean, he can go to Orlando, Spurs or Orlando. I think he goes to a team that needs a point guard. I would have said the Lakers, because the Lakers don't have a point guard. But they're not interested in going to the Lakers, so I would say Lakers, but okay. But I mean, you can look at Phoenix as well. You look at Phoenix. A De'Aaron Fox for Bradley Beal, but does Bradley Beal want to be in Sacramento? Like you trade D Fox to Sacramento for Bradley Beal to team up with D Book, KD, and their new big man. That would be interesting. I'd rather have D Fox than Jimmy Butler, in my opinion. But yeah. But I mean, I think a better fit would probably be Jimmy than D Fox. But I mean, you got a backcourt with D Book and D Fox. It's a crazy backcourt. But we'll see what happens with that. But moving along, we got some injuries to kind of talk about. Man, Jalen Johnson. He was cooking for the Atlanta Hawks. He's out for the rest of the season with a torn labrum in his shoulder. Unfortunate. I think the Hawks are like the 9th seed right now. It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. They was having a decent season, but they've lost 6 straight. So they'll have to. So with Jalen Johnson hurt, I'm gonna assume that DeAndre Hunter, he's in that starting lineup, and he's been cooking off the bench, so I'm assuming he's gonna maintain that same energy starting. So they got Dyson Daniels Dyson Daniels is a great role player. He's averaging 3 steals a game. He's a good defender for that team as well. Um, so yeah, man. Speed recovery for Jalen Johnson. Gonna come back next year even better. I think he was averaging around 20 points, 10 rebounds, and like 6 assists. And he was another good defender as well. So definitely it's gonna hurt the Hawks as far as like perimeter wise and length and athleticism and get pressure off Trae Young is definitely gonna hurt the Hawks. But we'll see what happens. The trade deadline's coming up. They might make an offer for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine go to the Hawks. It's trade season. It's free agency season for some leagues, which we're going to get into. But you got Zach LaVine, De'Aaron Fox, Bradley Beal, Jimmy Butler. Brandon Ingram is also another one. Who else is in trade? I'll probably say Marcus Smart. I think Marcus Smart is another trade for Memphis because by the Grizzlies winning and Marcus Smart been hurt, not really being as impactful, and it's looking like Marcus Smart is not really needed in Memphis, so he might be a trade asset out of there to get like another big name player. But Golden State, I'm gonna be honest, Steph Curry is looking like the 2022 Dame Lillard. Dame back in 2022 was playing with a bunch of players who weren't on the level as him, and they weren't really. Dame was playing with a bunch of young talent that wasn't really ready to win. Dame was playing with a trailblazing team that wasn't in the state of winning. They weren't really in a win now situation, and Dame, he requested a trade that summer, and I'm gonna be honest, Steph Curry is kind of looking like that Dame 2022 season where it's like, what are we doing? Like, are we winning? Like, are we trying to win, or are we rebuilding? And you don't want to keep Steph Curry there just to keep him there. So I think Steph Curry pulls a Damian Lillard this summer and requests a trade from the Golden State Warriors, and we'll see where he goes. But he can either go to LA and team up with LeBron and kind of like, let's ride this out in the sunset. We've been battling. Let's try and team up and make something happen in LA. Who knows? Or if Bron goes to Golden State, who knows? Or I just thought about this: Steph Curry go to Phoenix. Let's just say Bradley Beal doesn't get traded, and he's come off the bench doing what he's doing. They go to the playoffs. It don't really work out. Maybe Steph Curry talks to KD like, "Hey, I'm probably gonna request a trade. I'm interested in going to Phoenix. What you think? Steph Curry to Phoenix with D-Book and KD." I'm just saying. I'm just making up scenarios. But I do think Steph Curry will request a trade in the coming months. He probably won't say it this season, but he'll in the off season or before training camp, he'll definitely request a trade. It's definitely looking like a Damian Lillard type situation in Portland. All this young talent, but they're not in win now mode. Right now in Golden State, the players that's there are not really in win now mode. Kyle Anderson slow mo he fell off the rotation. So we'll see what happens, but we'll see what happens with all these trades and stuff going on. But now we're gonna move on to the WNBA. We have some breaking news for a trade. Well, a sign. Brittany Griner, after finishing her career with the Phoenix Mercury, she's been there for 11 seasons. Is taking her talents to Atlanta, Magic City. She's going to Atlanta. She's going down to Atlanta to play for the Atlanta Dream, to team up with to play with Canada and Howard. I don't know their first names, but Canada and Howard down there in Atlanta. And if you guys, I don't know if y'all remember, but the Atlanta Dream was starting to play good They didn't make the playoffs, but they were starting to kind of rise in the standings. But they ended up not making the playoffs. But how do I feel about this? I'm not really sure. I didn't really watch a lot of Atlanta Dream games last year because one, I'm not from Atlanta. Two, they were kind of looked at as like the bottom team, so I really wasn't paying attention too much. But I mean, BG is going to be the franchise player there. They're going to try and build around her. They got some players down there. Like I said, they got Howard. They got Canada down there. They got some. They got some pieces. They have like a trio down there. So yeah, we'll see what happens with BG. With shout out to BG, her and Tarasi, Kalia Carver, that squad from last year was good. And even the years when Kalia Carver wasn't there, it was BG and Tarasi and Skylar Diggins Smith. And, it was a good team. It was a good team. So we'll see what happens. Shout out to BG. It's good to see her back in the States and back in the league. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Also, some more breaking news: Caitlin Clark declines the 3-point shooting contest at the NBA All-Star Game. I didn't even know that this was like an actual conversation, but at first I was like, damn, like is she scared to go up against like is she scared? But then I had to think about it. I'm like, if I'm Caitlin Clark, I would participate either because I mean the All-Star Game is trash and practicing for something that might not get a lot of attention is kind of like it's kind of pointless. And I don't even think she's getting paid for it. So it's like the All-Star Game has been trash these past few years. There has been a lot of, viewership, within All-Star Weekend for the NBA. I probably won't be getting no bag for it. Yeah, I'm gonna decline. It's kind of the reason why she declined the unrivaled invitation. But Asia Wilson is not in the unrivaled league either. So yeah, she's not the only one. But I feel it. I mean, Caitlin Clark, she got bigger things to focus on. But shout out to unrivaled. I've been watching some highlights. It's pretty decent. It's obviously not better than the actual league, but I mean, it's something to keep the players active, while they're just like sitting at home, not really getting a lot of bread from the previous season. So it's good to kind of start something to kind of like, to kind of like try and like collect like more income than what they're already getting from the league as a whole. So, and then we don't see them until May. After October, they don't play till like the end of April, like beginning of May anyway. So like, why not, start something kind of like in the middle of the off season to kind of just give the fans something to kind of watch till they get back into the league. But yeah, Caitlin Clark declined that. But other than that, we'll see what happens with all these trade rumors and trade speculations of these different players and even more free agent signings within the WNBA. But I will definitely keep you guys in the loop. But I will share some not breaking news, but some potential breaking news. So there's a 3-team trade that could send Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors and Andrew Wiggins to Toronto and Bruce Brown to Miami. This is just a rumor. Now, I don't know if this is true, but if this was to happen, I mean Wiggins to Toronto, that doesn't really it is what it is with that. But Bruce Brown, I haven't heard Bruce Brown since the Nuggets and like the early Pacers. Other than that, Bruce Brown he's been out the loop for a few years. I haven't heard him since like Brooklyn, Denver, and kind of with the Pacers. Other than that, he's been gone. But this is just a rumor, Jimmy to Golden State. Wiggins to Toronto and Bruce Brown to Miami. I feel like I still think Jimmy going to Phoenix is the better option. But who knows? But before we go, just trying to see what's going on, see what else. So LaMelo Ball, he's supposed to be reevaluated today. So we'll see. But tonight we got the Nuggets and Knicks, got Cat versus Jokic, then we got OKC and the Warriors. So let's go. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Oh yeah, last night was the return for Dame back in Portland. The Bucks lost. Lost. Unfortunate for Dame. Couldn't get it done back in the arena that he finished building. But it's good to see Dame go back to Portland and getting the proper respect that he deserved. There were a lot of Dame Blazer jerseys in the crowd, so shout out to Portland for acknowledging him and his greatness. Andre Iguodala is getting his jersey retired by the Golden State Warriors on February 23rd. Shout out to Iggy, blocked by James. But Iguodala, he really, I was never a Warriors fan. I was an OKC fan in them years, so it's going to be hard for me to even say this, but Iguodala was definitely a big part of why the Warriors won. I feel like the first year he got to the Warriors, he was starting, and they was looking at Iguodala to be like the franchise guy, but it wasn't working out to be that because we kind of seen Steph Curry was going to be that dude. So the next year for him to come off the bench and sacrifice for Harrison Barnes to start and Iggy to come off the bench as like the sixth man and come in to have the high hand shows the respect level that we should have for Iggy. So shout out to Iggy for that. So his jersey retired February 23rd. So shout out to Iggy, and then Vince Carter got his jersey retired by the Nets. So shout out to all the players that got their jersey retired: Vince Carter, Iguodala, D Rose, Tony Allen, all these players getting their jersey retired, and Tony Parker. So shout out to all of them. But this is going to conclude the episode of K-Dub Palace. I'm your host, K-Dub, and we'll be back for another episode very soon. I'll see y'all in the next episode.